All right, so what I want to talk about, and before I get into this subject, I want to let everyone know, even if you don't understand exactly what I'm talking about or what I mean, if you are an individual that is actually looking into things and you're opening up your eyes and you're taking an honest look, a brutal honest look at stuff, and you are doing your own research, and you are someone that wants to become conscious of what's really going on here, you have to understand when your eyes are finally opened and when you actually see what's going on here, you are more than likely going to get very, very depressed. You're going to go through a time where you're going to feel like everything's all over the place. You're going to feel like you're going mad, like you're losing your mind, but you're not. You've woken up from the spell. You've woken up from the dream. You've actually woken up from what I'm going to talk about. You've woken up from the conditioning and agenda spell. And whether we think it's there or not, it's there. It's there. It's there. And I'll tell you this. The person that took me on this journey and this path to realize this was George Carlin. George Carlin was the person that I listened to that got me on a 7-year journey. 7 years. It took me 7 years to actually see what is going on here with all of this stuff. It took me 7 years to just see what is going on, to what is really, really, really going on. And now I am spreading that awareness to other people. And the thing with us is, see, we as people, we don't think that we can escape from this corporation system, this corporate system. We don't think that we can escape from this conditioning and this indoctrination and this spell of the agenda that is going on every day, all the time. We don't think we can escape from it. And the reason that a majority of the people will not want to escape from it is because they don't think that it's possible. And when you don't think it's possible, more than likely you're not going to do it. You're going to remain in fear. We're going to remain in fear. We're going to keep going by all of these things that ain't doing anything for us. See, what we got to understand is all that we're doing is we are being distracted by the powers that be, and they are literally laughing at us that we are against each other, that it's us versus them. They are literally laughing at us right now. Do we understand this? The powers that be are, they're looking at us going, man, these people, they are stupid. They're getting us rich. We're making everything. We're the ones that are leading this, and they're just watching us as we're being distracted by all of this agenda pushing, all of this indoctrination, all of this conditioning. All they're doing is keeping us distracted. If we don't realize this, if we do not see this first off, then we're never going to get to a point where we can make a change with it. It's never going to happen until we realize it. But a majority of people, they don't want to realize it because they don't want to do nothing about it. They just want to sit back and watch the world does what the world does. I don't want to sit back and watch the world do what the world does. I want to make a move. I want to spread the revolution of awareness, of neutrality, of knowledge, of refuge mentality, of discernment, of knowing that we've been lied to, we've been conditioned here, we've been indoctrinated. We are being misled at every angle here. They have literally lied to us about everything. If we do not see this first off, if you don't realize that you've been conditioned, then more than likely you're still a conditioned person. You're still going by the conditioning. You're still going by the agenda. You're still going by what they're pushing in the mainstream. You're still going by what you're watching on TV. You're still going by all the Super Bowl commercials. You're still buying all of their products, all of their stuff that they're getting rid of, that they're pushing on you. And that's why I say it's a spell, because most people don't realize that they're under the spell. They don't even see it. And I'm here to break that spell. I'm here to expose that spell so that people that are similar to me, people that resonate with my energy, resonate with my frequency, resonate with what I'm on, we can break away from this. Because I'm just going to put it out there. It's time to break away. It's time to get away from the rest of the majority of the world. It's that time. And I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know where it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen soon. And as much as I would like to do this myself, as much as I would like to do this on my own, I don't know if I can. I honestly don't know if I can do this by myself. That's why I have kind of been on this search for other people that understand this. And I only know a few. I only know a few people. And I know there's a few people that are on my channel still listening to me. But I ask, do those people, do they understand what's really going on here? Are they seeing behind the smoke screens? Are they seeing the agenda? Are they seeing that they are literally pushing on you the conditioned agenda of chase and chase and chase? They're getting you to chase things. They're getting you to want shiny things. They're getting you to want the cars and the mansions and the money. That is going to leave you more miserable than what you've ever been in your life. Have we not watched things on people that got a bunch of money and seen how it destroyed them? Have we not learned? Have we not learned from the emperors in history? Have we not learned from Adolf Hitler? Have we not learned from all of the dictators of our world? Have we not learned what power does? Have we not learned that power and pride corrupt absolute? Have we not learned this? If you are somebody that is chasing the agenda, you are still going by and living by all of the things you've been conditioned to think that you have to do here. And see, what I'm talking about, this is not chasing. This is refuge mentality. I'm talking about going off and breaking off into our own tribes, our own communes, our own people that understand that this is a plague. It's a literal plague that we have to get away from. It's never going to change. The world is never going to stop being the world. People that follow polluted popularity, it's never going to stop with them because they don't want it to stop. They don't want to make a change in their lives. They don't want to actually see what's really going on here. They want to stay docile, gullible. They want to stay chasing material things. They want to stay in that world of chase, of seeking power. And they don't know what they're heading for. They don't realize that they're heading for actual disaster. They don't even realize that they're heading for corruption. They don't even realize that they're heading towards other people that want what they have. And what will people do when they want something that you have? In the name of pride, in the name of material things, in the name of look at me, I'm something. That's all this is doing. This is not making anybody productive. It's just destroying more people. And this is what I mean. This is a revolution of productivity while we're here. It's not, it's a revolution of knowledge. It's a revolution of awareness. It's a revolution of seeing that we have been blinded. We have been lied to. We have been manipulated. We have been told everything that we believe, everything that we think that we have to do, everything we think that we have to live by. We think we have to live a certain way for people. We have to dress a certain way for people. We got to do all these things. And all these things that you see in the news, all of these things that you see on TV, all these protests going on, and all these people that are doing this stuff, they don't realize that they are falling right into the trap of the distraction that they want you doing. They want you to do those things. They need you to do those things. That's how they make their profit. That's how they are keeping us gullible and blind and stupid. Don't we see this? Am I speaking to anybody? I know I'm not speaking to myself. I know that I'm speaking to people. It's just, we've got to come out of hiding. We have got to stop living in fear here. We have got to stop letting the masses control what we do with our own lives. We don't need to be a part of this anymore. We do not need to go by what the rest of the gullible masses go by. We can break off from this. But do we think that we can do that? Is the question. Or are we just going to keep letting fear? Are we going to keep letting, the news and the TV and the agenda and what we've been conditioned by? Are we still letting that control and run our lives is the question. You see, we can't stop millions and billions of people from doing what millions and billions of people are going to do. It's time for the ones that really understand. It's time for the ones that actually know that this is no bullshit and this is some real shit. It's time for us to start getting together and having our own revolution, for us to get away from this bullshit, for us to get away from what has been keeping us docile, gullible, ignorant, foolish the whole time. And that's what this is. That's what this has been the whole time. Why do you think we're so miserable here? Why do you think that when we wake up, we don't want to do anything? We don't want to go anywhere. We don't want to be around people because we know that it's all a lie. We know that there's no commune there. There's no like-minded people. There's no There's no kind of refuge. We know that we don't fit in places, but yet we want to try to be somewhere where we don't fit in. Why do we want to be with a person or a thing that does not want us? You might think that they want you. No, they don't want you. They want you to do the dirty work so that they can make more. They want you, and I'm not talking about, please don't get me mistaken in this. I'm not talking about people that go to work to supply food or stock shelves or do something that supplies a need. I'm not talking about them people. I'm talking about the powers that be that run the TV, that run the mainstream, that run the agenda that we see. And there's so many people that are falling for this. There's so many people out here, they fall right for it just because they're telling us this stuff. Just because they tell you that there's some horrible virus going around, we just listen to it. You know, I'm not saying that didn't really happen. I am not saying that there really wasn't some flu-like thing going around that was killing people and was making people very ill, because I even got it myself, whatever it was. But what I'm saying is, you can't just believe something because you hear somebody telling you that's what it is, just because it's coming from the TV, just because it's coming from the mainstream, just because it's coming from someone else. And more than likely, they're just going by all the conditioning. They're going by all of the indoctrination. They're going by all of the what's the word I'm using here? The agenda. They're agenda pushers. That's what they are. They're agenda pushers. And there's so many of these people, but they don't realize that someone like me, what I'm doing with my life, what I'm doing here is I'm going to free people from that. See, they just don't, we might not understand it now. We might not get it now. We might not think we can do this now. But in time, if I am still alive and on this planet, I'm going to show what it is that I know, that what we can do, but a lot of us are not doing, because we're letting the fear of what the mainstream, of what other people, what conditioned people, what people that don't know any better from what they're doing are pushing onto you, and you still let that run your life. We're still letting those things run our lives instead of us running our own lives when we're here. And we have to break away from it. We got to get away from it. We've got to stop listening to it. We got to stop watching it. See, how many people are going to actually do this? How many people actually know that they have been conditioned? If we don't realize or see or admit that we've been conditioned, then we are going to remain in a conditioned mindset. We're going to keep living by, we're going to keep believing, we're going to keep going right back to all the conditioning that was put in our minds to trick us into thinking. See, it was put in our minds to trick us into believing that that is the way we're supposed to live, that is the things that we're supposed to listen to, that is the way that we're supposed to go about thinking about things. And I'm telling you, once we wake up out of the slumber, it took me, it doesn't have to take other people that long, because I'm telling people what they need to know here. It doesn't have to take you 7 years like it took me, because I had to find all this stuff out by myself. I had to do my own research. I had to look into things myself. I had to get real with me. I had to take off the blinders, and I had to get brutally honest here about things. And this is, if you're here, you're not just here for no reason. You're not just here for no reason listening to what I'm saying. Because like I said, there is nobody else that is going to tell you these kinds of things, because everybody else is conditioned. They're living a conditioned life. They're living a life of going by the mainstream, the agenda pushers. They're literally going by the agenda. They wear the apparel, they listen to the messages, they listen to the slogans, they listen to the quotes, they listen to everything they're saying like that's the truth, like that's what's really going on. And all that it's based around getting a few people rich and some other people rich to make them live wealthy, greedy, not sharing anything lives. It's just to get a couple men and women rich. That's all it's based upon. And we all look up to this foolishness. We all look up to this, I gotta make money. Money, more money, more money, more money, more money. Yes, money is a tool, but money is not to be worshipped. Money is not going to make us happy. It's not going to fulfill anything. It's a piece of paper. Through it all, everybody is just putting on this show for you to make it look like they're a certain way that they're really not. It's all just one big show. Nobody is really giving you something that has substance, something that's going to matter through it all, something that's going to matter here, that's going to actually matter towards the end of our lives. See, nobody, it's like, why, what is this saying about us as people? Why do mom and pop's place that put all of their effort into a craft, that put their effort into, say they're baking bread, and you have hardly anybody that goes there, but they'll go on some other place where someone's getting rich and they'll go and get it there, but they're too lazy to go to a mom and pop store to support them. It makes no sense. Why are we getting the rich richer and we're not doing anything for people that actually need it, or we're not seeing ourselves what we're doing here? Because see, there is a conundrum there, because some people that don't have anything, some people that are broke, or whatever term you want to use, some of those people, they are that way because they're not willing to do anything different either. They have something going on in their lives. They might have a drug addiction going on. They might hate the world and they don't do anything and they just don't care about anything. I mean, there's so many different ways that people are living their lives. And put it this way, if you resonate with this, then it's saying something to you. If you're listening and you're still listening and you're listening for yourself, that means that you know nothing else is working here. You know that everything else is bullshit. You know that you're being lied to from other people. You know that they don't care about you. You know that they're just pulling the wool over your eye so that you buy some product or you get them rich. And the things that I have on my channel is not for me to get rich. It's a tool to help me get by. It's a tool to get my needs. It's a tool that I can, if I need to get a wire for something like my microphone, or I need to get something to eat or something like that, that's what I use the things that I get for. I don't ever use it that I can somehow prosper in a way to say, hey, look how much better I got it than you. Look how much better I'm doing than these people. You see, this is why I say, what are our motives and intentions here? What are our motives and intentions in this life? You know, why do we do what we're doing? When we get up every day, what is it that we want to base the rest of our lives on? This is what we need to start talking about. This is what we need to start getting involved with, because we're talking about the rest of our lives here. We're talking about, if there is no eternity, the rest of our lives is eternity. You know, what are we going to do here till the day we die? This is what we need to start asking ourselves, because when you're somebody that you understand the condition of this world, and you understand the ignorance in it, and you see where people are heading, and you understand the lies, and you see the agenda, you know that we've been conditioned, you know all these things. The only other thing to do is break away from other people like that. That's the only thing left to do, is break away from it. Or to start practicing, learning the things you need to know, so that you can know those things for yourself, so that you and I can have the discernment to spread the awareness to other people what's really going on here. Because if you're someone that is really conscious, if you're someone that really knows, and you're someone that you know there's an agenda going on, you know we've been conditioned, you will know them by their fruits. All you have to do is listen to a couple paragraphs of what is coming out of their mouth. What are they saying? What are they showing you in their videos? What are they talking about? What are they doing? All you have to do is listen to people. All you got to do is, when you hear them talk, just listen to a couple sentences, a couple paragraphs. Look at the things that they say that they believe in, or that they go for, or whatever it is that they're talking about. You can discern how they are as people. You can literally tell by their fruits, metaphorically. This is a metaphor for discernment. This is a metaphor for knowing that you just know. You can tell because you've been there so many times. You did it yourself so many times. You've seen it so many times. You witnessed it so many times, and you know where this thing is heading. You know where most of the world is heading, and you know the lies that they believe. You know the conditioning they're going by. You know the agenda that is being pulled over their eyes, and you know this, and you're telling them because you actually do care for them, because you want them to know this too for themselves, so that they can free themselves from it. And when you free yourself from it, see, there's a lot of y'all. You are going through the realization stage right now. You're going through the stage where you might be running from it. You might be realizing it. You might be feeling like you're losing your mind. You might feel like you're going crazy. You're not going crazy. You're not losing your mind. You're just becoming conscious of what's going on here. And when that starts to happen, there's something that will happen. You're either going to get really depressed. You're going to think that you're wrong. You're going to think that whatever someone like me said, you're going to look at those kind of people like they're misguiding you, like they're doing it for malicious intentions, when actually I'm doing my best to free your mind from slavery. I'm doing my best to free you from a conditioned, agenda-ridden world. I'm doing my best to spread this knowledge. I'm doing my best so that people can learn from what I know, so that we can know it together, so that we can break off together and go somewhere together and start our own thing. And you will be responsible. You will be accountable for your own life, just like I'll be responsible and accountable for my own life. And we know that we know because we have been looking into things. We have been being honest with ourselves. We're not lying to ourselves anymore. We're not hiding away anymore. We're not being fooled anymore by the gullible masses. Because whether we want to admit it or not, we are all gullible with certain things. I was completely gullible with this stuff. I was not aware of any of this. I was completely blind just a while ago. I was completely blind to these kind of things. And when I became conscious, let me tell you something. It was one of the worst times. I was depressed. I thought I was losing my mind. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was wrong. But now that I actually see that now I am free to think. I am free to know what is really going on here. I don't feel that way anymore. I have bad days. I have days where I'm a little down and out. But I don't let it keep me there because I'm not going by the conditioning. I'm not going by the agenda anymore. I'm not going by the slavery that is keeping me down, that is keeping me that way. And this is why if this doesn't get out, we're going to be miserable for the rest of our lives. We're going to keep doing something we don't want to do for the rest of our lives. We are going to keep believing a lie. We're going to keep going by the agenda. We're going to keep listening to agenda pushers. We're going to keep falling into the same hypocrisy that so many of us keep falling in because we're not willing to do something about it. And then we fall into the same hypocrisy because we're doing the same exact things as all the rest of the world is doing. See, it's almost like you have to be sick and tired, but at the same time, you've got to want to change something. It's got to be something where you know that this world has nothing to offer. You know that the people that have a worldly mentality, people that have the mentality like the rest of the gullible masses, you're like, I know that there's nothing there for me. I don't fit in. There's nothing there. There's nothing there for me. I don't fit in there. It's not where I belong. I don't belong around this. So that means it's time to break away. It's time to go do our own thing. It's time for us to break away from this kind of thinking, this way of living, this kind of slavery that we've all been in. And it's sorry to say, but our parents, our grandmothers, they were in the bondage and slavery, but they didn't even know that. They didn't even realize that. And the only reason I realized it is because I went off on my own. I didn't have people influencing me with all of this bullshit, with all of this agenda stuff, with all of this conditioning, with all of this I don't know another word for it. That's all that I can think of right now. But once you become conscious, you will never look at this the same way. And all that we're doing, see, when we go back to those things, that's all we're doing is we're fighting ourselves. Because that's what they want us to do. They want us to fight ourselves. They want us to fight each other. This kind of conditioned mind, these kinds of people, these people that are going by the agenda, that push the agenda, they don't want you to see this. They want us to be us versus them, me versus you, black versus white. They want us talking about this transgender stuff. They want all the protesters and people in the streets. They want you to do that. It's to keep you distracted from what's really going on here. They're distracting you with news. They're distracting you with Super Bowls. They're distracting you with TV shows. They're distracting you with material things. They're distracting you with everything under the sun. They're distracting you with... Now, I got to be careful when I say this, because I know a lot of people, they think that they resonate with this, but they're not even seeing what's going on behind this. They also push this spiritual thing going around, this spiritualism. And I'm telling you, most of these people, they are literally wolf in sheep's clothing. They are coming to you with a soft voice. They are coming with you saying that they have something for you that is bigger than what anybody has ever given you. They're coming with this false hope. They're giving you this false sense of hope and security. See, I'm not giving you that. I'm giving you something real. I'm giving you something where we focus on the refuge. We focus on having the ability to tell each other what we feel, to be honest with each other, to say what we really need to say to one another, a place where we can go to create, a place where we can go to raise, our own animals, where we can have our own houses, where we can be doing our own thing. But there's got to be somebody, there has got to be somebody that is an example, and I'm willing to be that example. But like I said, it's going to be very hard for me to do this on my own. I have to first see. I was looking into this, and I was being absolutely honest with myself, and I said to myself, I might have to first show people that I'm serious about this before this happens, because I think people might be listening to me and they see that I live in an apartment and I'm making YouTube videos and I'm talking about this. They think that I'm just doing this as a YouTuber to talk about it. No, I want to actually do it. And even though I'm not there yet, it hasn't happened yet, because I still got to go to some doctor's visits. I still got to go find out some things with my health. I'm not in a position to just break off and do this, but it's going to happen. It's going to eventually happen. I just know that it's going to happen. And this is why I'm preparing. I am preparing myself, and I am preparing the people that are here, that there's nothing here for you. You know that they're pushing the agenda. You know that we've been conditioned. You know that they're lying to us. You know that the corporations are getting rich, using us as slaves. You know all of the above. But see, the thing is, we have got to be taking accountability for ourselves. We have also got to be looking into this. We have got to be getting honest with ourselves too. We got to be looking at our own hypocrisies. We got to be looking at what we do here too. It just can't be this thing where it's I'm right and they're wrong. No, we're all wrong about shit. We all fall short. But if you're someone that you're still listening to this, you know that you're not free. You know you're in bondage to what I'm talking about. You know that you know this. I don't have to sit here and really keep telling it. You know it, I know it. It can't stay hidden anymore. It's time to take action. It's time to change something. It's time to make a move here. It's time to do what we might not think we can do. We got to start thinking we can do it. If we just think I can't do that, it's not going to happen. I could never do that. See, we got to get past that mentality that we can't do it, because we can do it. We can do this while we're here. And this is what I'm preparing for. And all that I can do is I'm going by absolute, like I said before, I am going by absolute blind faith that whatever needs to happen will happen. You see, I'm not planning this. I'm not going about it in a way that a lot of people do. I am just letting it happen. I am trusting that the universe will allow it to happen how it's supposed to happen. I am trusting in that fact. And then I have to put in the work though to make it happen. I got to put it in for this to happen. And I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know where I'm going to go from here. I have no idea. I don't even know if I'm going to have anybody with me, but I'm still going to spread the message. I'm still going to spread the awareness that needs to be spread, because this is not working. How this whole thing is, it's not working for most of us, and everybody is looking for what I'm saying here. This is the thing we're looking for. I am the one. What I am saying is what we're looking for. We're looking for a place where we can go to do our own thing. You know, when we wake up, we have something to do, because the work we do is for our own place. The work that we're doing is to keep us alive. The work that we're doing is to keep to keep the house in order. The work that we're doing is to plant the crops. The work that we're doing is for our own refuge. And why do you think that there's so many people? Why do you think that there's so many sons and daughters? Because we all had mothers and fathers. Every single one of us had a mother and father. Why do you think that the world is like it is today? Because the mothers and fathers, they didn't even realize how conditioned they were. They didn't even realize that they were living by the agenda. And it's not, I'm not sitting here and say, let's blame the parents. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not saying let's sit here and blame our parents, but we have to forgive them because they did not know this, you know. Have mercy on them, even if they didn't know. And I know people might get mad at that word, but you know what? Sometimes that's just what we got to do. And, you know, that is just the facts. That is just the facts of the situation. You know, they didn't know any better. A lot of us didn't know any better. And we've been going by this. You know, we're here now. We're living now. We're here. So we have to do the best while we're still here. And I'm going to end it on that. But it's, like I said, even if you're not there yet, even if you don't support this, even if you don't understand what I mean, if you're still listening, there's something missing in your life. There is something that is not right. There's something off. There's something amiss. There's something that is, the link is not clicking up. We feel like we're slaves. We feel like, what's the point of living? Like I said before, I'm talking to people that, I'm not talking about people that are filled with hatred and bitterness and all this stuff. I'm talking about people that are angry at things that are not just. People that are sick and tired and they're angry. They're sick and tired and they're angry at the way things are. But if there's somebody that still has hatred in them and they just hate everything and everybody, them people need to take a look at themselves. They need to take an honest look at themselves and ask themselves, why do I feel that way? See, most of us, we are bitter and we have hatred and we're all these things because we've been conditioned to think that. We've been conditioned to think that we need something we don't, so we're mad, we're bitter, we're angry by it. We've been conditioned. The agenda told us that if you don't have this, then you're this. If you don't have that, then you're that. If you're not doing what we're doing, then you're this kind of person. See, if you're still going by that kind of way of thinking, you're still letting the conditioning take over your mind. We have got to understand that we've been conditioned and we have got to break away from that conditioning. That's the only way that we're going to have a chance to live out the rest of our lives in a way where we can have some kind of dignity as people, where we can have some kind of refuge, where we can have some place where we can be honest amongst each other, where we can create, where we can be artists, where we can have a craft, where we can do the things we really want to do and have the spare time to do the work we need to do. And then in our free time, we have something going that we want to do. That's how I want to live the rest of my life. The work that I do is for the homestead, is for the refuge, is for the place that I'm living. And then in my spare time, I have a craft, I have an art, I have something to do, or I have someone that is willing to show me something that I might not know. Other people that are willing to spread awareness to one another. So that's what I'm going for. And this is what I'm talking about by a revolution, by my revolution, by when I say the SBN Revolution. This is what I mean by revolution. I'm not talking about fighting. I'm not talking about violence. I'm not talking about any kind of revolution that people might think I'm talking about. I'm talking about a revolution of knowledge, of change, of accountability, of neutrality, of refuge mentality, of awareness, of discernment, of having an art, having a craft, having something like that, and breaking away from all of this bullshit. Because a lot of us know out there that this is not working. We know that we don't belong here. We know that it's a dead world. We know that the world is dead. And we know that social media is dead. We know that all these things are dead. All that social media should be is a tool to spread awareness. All that social media should be is a place where we go to keep spreading the revolution of awareness. That's the only thing that we should be doing on social media. All that other shit is irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything what other people are doing on social media, because they know deep down it has no substance. They know that it's really not anything. And I was just watching this clip on one of these rapper guys, and he said something. See, this is the hypocrisy that we don't understand. This is the hypocrisy in the music, the entertainment on TV. I forget what his name is, but he said something like, yeah, it's really not about the money. It's about assurance that I'm going to have a place to be, that I'm going to have. Basically what he was saying is, I want to know that I'm going to have a refuge for myself. That's what he was saying when he said what he said. And he said the money don't matter, the girls, the cars, all that shit is irrelevant. But that's what everybody wants to push. That's what everybody wants to focus on. That's what everybody wants to be a part of. And I'm telling you, it is the smoke screen. It is the spell that has been put in front of our eyes to trick us. It is literally Baal. It is these metaphorical demons that have been put in front of us. And I don't remember all the names. There's 3 demonic spirits metaphorically that have people blinded. And it's in our world. It's in our world right now. It's going on right now. There's a literal spell that has been put up in front of the people's face and their eyes and in their minds and their thinking. And if it's not broke, if there's not somebody that is breaking the spell, that is tearing it down so that the people can actually see what's going on here, then it's like fools teaching fools to be more foolish. And if everybody's doing that, what is the world going to become? It's going to become a complete shit show. And it already is a shit show. If you just really look at what's going on here and you're someone that's conscious, you know what I'm saying is for real. So this is, I can't stop. Even though I have given up on humanity as a whole, and I have given up on the world, and I have given up on all of those foolish things, I'm never going to stop. I've given up, but I'm not ever going to stop. I'm not ever going to stop spreading awareness. It's not going to happen. I'm already in this. The cards have already been dealt. It's do or die. It's literally, I have nothing else to do anyway. This is my calling. This is my calling, what I'm doing. And those of you who resonate with me, we have got to start taking accountability. We have got to start getting honest with ourselves. We got to stop hiding from things. We got to start making a change while we can. Or we're just going to keep doing the same stuff. We're just going to keep being miserable. We're going to keep leading lives that we don't want to live. It's just going to be the same thing. And then the agenda is going to keep getting pushed. The conditioning will keep going on. People will keep getting lied to. Fools will keep teaching fools to be more foolish. Agenda pushers will keep teaching agenda pushers to be better agenda pushers. Politics will keep teaching politics to be other foolish politics. It's just any word you put there. Conditioned people will remain to teach other conditioned people to stay conditioned. And this is why there has got to be people that are aware, teaching other aware people to spread and know about awareness. Knowledgeable men and women teaching other knowledgeable men and women to spread and be more knowledgeable. Refuge mentality to teach refuge mentality to other people that need to know about refuge mentality. See, this is what we should be pushing. This is what we should be hearing about. This is what my brothers and sisters should have my back with. But this is not what most of the masses are not hearing. Because this is what they don't push. This is what they do not want you to know. They want you to be blind, gullible, docile, dumbed down, a slave. They want you to remain in the slave mentality. because a slave does what a slave does. And then we're not free. Who would not want to be free? 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 See, only a caged bird thinks that it can't go outside the cage. And most of us are living like caged birds. We're letting fear, we're letting what they're telling us, we're letting the agenda, we're letting the conditioning, we're letting this spell keep us blinded and scared. And then we're stuck in that cage. It's time to get out of the cage. It is time to wake up out the slumber. It is time to become conscious. It is time to break away from this foolishness. It is that time. There is no other time in life but now to do this. No other time. I don't know how it's going to get done. I don't know when it's going to get done. I have no idea. But I am trusting. I am trusting that there is something out there. I am trusting that there is something out there that is going to change this whole thing, that is going to start the spark, that is going to light the spark to set the fire that needs set to get under my ass, to get me moving, to get me doing this, to get me, leading the example for my people, for the people, because we're all in this together. We're all the same. We're all living life. We all have to have needs. Like I said before, the only thing that makes us different is our talents, is the way we talk, is the way we look. We're really no different with anything else. And, like I said, why would you want to be with? Why would you want to associate with? Why would you want to live with? Why would you chase something that does not want you or appreciate you? Why would you be a part of something that doesn't appreciate you? This is like somebody that they're in a paper wet bag and the bag keeps ripping and tearing, but they try to still remain in the wet paper bag. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. It is literally time for a revolution here. It is literally time for what I call the SBN Revolution. It is literally that time. And I know that there might not be people out there that are thinking like this or want to do this. But like I said, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know where it's going to happen. I have no idea. But there's something in me that there's something in me that is just, this is my life's work. This is what I've been called to do. There's nothing else for me to do here. And I don't say that because I'm forcing myself to do this. This is something I want to do. This is something I'm passionate about. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I just couldn't put it all together. I couldn't put the pieces together quite right to understand what I was going for. But now I know what it is that I need, and I know what it is that I know what my vision is. And I have to just trust that the people, places, and things are going to come the way they come. You see, I'm allowing it to happen as it happens. And I know that doesn't say much. I know that sounds like, well, you're just hoping for something to happen. I know it sounds like a lot of things, but I don't know. It's very hard to describe. It's just the knowing. It's just the knowing that I know that you just know. You just know there's something in you that has to get out to people. You just know that there's something that you have to give to the world. There's something you have to give to other people, and you're not keeping it to yourself. You're not being selfish with it. You're not holding back and living in fear anymore. It's the only way I can describe it. So that's what it is. Like I said, I've given up on the worldly mentality. I have given up on the agenda. I have given up on conditioning. I have given up on stupidity and foolishness. I have given up on pride and power and all those things. I've given up on those things, and I am not going to stop. I've given up on those things, but I am not going to stop spreading the awareness of refuge, knowledge, awareness, accountability, responsibility, things like that. I'm not going to give up on. I can't stop because it's all that I know. It's all that I'm going for now. And if it might take some time, but I know that people that resonate over time, they will make a move themselves. It's just a matter of time. Like I said, if you are looking into things and you are being honest and you see behind the smoke screen, or you're someone that is saying what is going on here, and you are taking the time to reflect on why these things go on, there's sooner or later you're going to see it. And when you wake up, let me tell you something. It might be very depressing. You might think you're losing your mind. You might think you're going crazy. You might feel like you're wrong, or you feel guilty, or you're in fear of something. That is just your conditioning playing with you. That is your mind playing tricks on you because you're getting away from that. You're becoming conscious. You're becoming aware. Don't fall for the trap of thinking those things, because it's bullshit. You're going through a transformation like a caterpillar turns into a butterfly. You're going through a metamorphosis. That's what's happening. Don't let the lie fool you. Don't let the lie fool you. Don't let the lie fool you. Don't let the agenda come back. Don't let the conditioning come back. Don't let your friends and your family and the TV and these people that soft talk you with this, spiritualism, telling you that it's I have the answers, and, everything's going to be this way and this way. I'm telling you, these people are lying to you. They're lying to you. And you can tell them by their fruits. You will know them by their fruits. And I'll even be so bold as to say, because like I said to people, I do use doctrine that makes sense to reality. I do use the doctrine of the Holy Bible for certain things, because there's certain things in there that are actual reality. They're actual things that are happening today that people are not aware of. They're not keen to. You can tell them by their fruits. You see, when it says, I am not ashamed of the gospel, that means that you are not ashamed anymore, because you're not lying. You're not hiding. You're not manipulating people. And that's why I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Do you see? That's why I use these metaphors, because he sacrificed himself so that we would know these things. I don't care. I don't care if you're a believer or you're not a believer. I don't care if you believe in God or you don't believe in God. See, once you understand what sacrifice is, you're willing to sacrifice your life for the sake of others so that they can also know. You're willing to sacrifice your time, your knowledge, every part of your being and your energy you're willing to sacrifice for another person. That's why I resonate with Jesus Christ. That's why I resonate with the gospel. That's why I resonate with it. See, I don't think people are understanding the significance of what that reminds us to do. It reminds us to be thankful for the small things. It reminds us to check ourselves. And that's why I give that all credit and glory. Do you see? I don't give it to myself. I don't boast in and of myself. I don't call myself the thing. I don't call myself the one that's better than you and you're worse. I'm not comparing myself to people anymore. That's done. That is out of my life. I am on a different paradigm of thinking. I'm on a completely different world than most of the world and how they think about stuff and what they're being tricked by and fooled by. I am literally on Pluto right now. And I don't care. People can call me whatever they call me. They can call me crazy. They can call me one of those, one of those kind of guys. I don't care because I know for myself that I know what I know. See, do you know that you know? Do you know that you know, or can you be persuaded by the masses? Can you be tricked and fooled with some kind of foolish thing that they're throwing in front of your face to make it look like it's nice and pretty when you realize it's really not nothing? It's irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant. You got to understand the trickery that's going on here. The people that are coming as sheep, but they're really wolves. They're coming as a person of light. They're coming as something that they're really not. And this is what metaphorical demons do. They hide. They hide everything from people. See, and the people are the demons. Just like something that Kevin Gates said in one of these videos. He said, there's no such thing as these demon creatures that are crawling around at night and breathing in your nose and whatever. I don't know. Maybe there is a succubus. Maybe there are spirits. Maybe there is something like that. But we can't assume that there's something like that. But we know that the literal demons here are us. Is people, is humans, not dealing with their own stuff. Not seeing their own stuff, not confronting their own stuff, not holding themselves accountable for what we're doing here. And then we become the demons. We become the hypocrites. We become the whitewashed tombs, acting like everything's good on the outside when on the inside we're stinking and rotting and we're lying to people. How much more of this do you think that if there was such a thing as a just God looking down on this, how much more mercy do you think God could have on this kind of stuff? How much more mercy do you think a person that knows what's going on and just keeps allowing this foolishness to take place, how much mercy can you have on these people that don't realize what they're doing? But they keep getting chance after chance after chance after chance after chance after chance after chance to listen to people like me, to actually get it for themselves, to actually understand it, to actually take it in upon themselves so that they can understand this for themselves and know this for themselves. so that they can deal with life and they can see the trickery. They can see the conditioning, the indoctrination, the spell that has been put up in front of them. See, that's why do you think they have the metaphor, the devil comes as something of light. It's just like the guy from 3-6 Mafia, Crunchy Black, said. He talks about how the devil came to him or whatever, metaphorically. See, it doesn't come as what you think it's going to come as. Why do you think they're distracting us? I'm just telling us to take this metaphorically, because a lot of us don't believe this literally. So take it metaphorically. They come as something, they distract us with these nice looking things. They distract us with this music. They distract us with the TV. They distract us with social media. They distract us with these nice things, these cars, these houses. You can get all the women. See, they distract us with this stuff to keep us gullibly blind. Don't we see this? Don't we see past the smoke that is being blown in our face? Like I said, they're literally laughing at us while we destroy each other. The powers that be and the people that are living the agenda, they are literally laughing because they're looking at us do all this stuff to each other in the name of what we're blind to. And like I said, once the blinders come off and you see how this really is, you're going to feel shame. You're going to feel guilt. You're going to feel depressed because you now realize what was really going on here. You realize what people were actually doing in the name of pride and power and corruption and all these things that they were going for. Because have we forgot money is the root of all evil? Have we forgot this? Have we forgot about the emperors? Have we forgot about Adolf Hitler? Have we forgot? There's so many examples I could give y'all if I kept going. I mean, have we forgot that power corrupts? Have we forgot these things? And those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Those who do not know what's going on here, we're going to keep repeating this stuff over and over and over again until the awareness is spread, until we get this. And there's a lot of us that are out here that we are doing this, but we're not doing it enough. We do it maybe a couple times and then we go, oh, I did what I did. You know, I did what I could do. And then we stop. We just stop doing it. And I know a couple channels that did this. I know a couple channels that were speaking about stuff and they just stopped. They all together stopped. They all together stopped spreading awareness. They all together stopped spreading what's really going on. And the reason they stopped is because what they did is they gave in to not wanting to spread it anymore because they seen that not a lot of people were really listening. Not a lot of people were getting on board with it, so they stopped. See, I'm not gonna stop. I can't stop. I just can't do it. So anyway, I'm going to end it there. I went way too long. And I understand if anybody got this far in the video, then you can pay attention. You have a long attention span. You're listening. And that's all that matters, is that you're listening. You are getting what not hardly anybody is going to tell you. Because, like I said, the majority of the masses that are agenda pushers, that are conditioned to think all this stuff, they're not going to tell you this stuff because they don't know. They don't know about this stuff. So how can they possibly tell you what they don't know? I repeat, how can they tell you what they don't know for themselves? If there's no confrontation, if there's no calling it out, if there's no bringing it up, if there's no talking about it, if there's no awareness, how are people going to know about this stuff? How are we going to know to change the paradigm? How are we going to know to get up off of something that is just destroying us or keeping us sick or doing all of the things we're doing? How are we going to know if there's nobody talking about it? How are they going to know the word if nobody's speaking the word to them? And I feel like there is no other time in history to get this out. There is no other time. If it is not this time right now, there's no other time. And this is the problem. This is why I said we got to stop hiding. We have got to stop being cowards and living in fear. This is the problem. Nobody wants to do this. Nobody actually wants to do it. That's the problem. You know, and even me, I even feel some kind of way because I talk about it and I'm not doing like most of it now. But that doesn't mean that I'm not planting the seed in my thoughts. That doesn't mean that I'm not planting the seed in my thinking to eventually do it for myself and to see what's really, really, really going on behind all of this stuff. Once you see the motives and the intentions, and once you really see the hypocrisy going on here, you will literally, if you feel sick to your stomach, then you'll know that you got it. You'll know that you're there if you feel sickened and you feel ashamed and you feel like, my goodness gracious, how couldn't I have seen this? Then you know you're there. Then you know that you're getting it. So I don't know how to end the video, but I'm just going to end the video and I'm going to leave it at that until the next time I talk, because it doesn't just take one video to make people understand this. It didn't just take one video for me to understand and get this. I mean, it took so many hours and days and weeks for me to finally get this through my thick skull. And if I wouldn't have been by myself, if I would have not broke away from what everybody else was saying, I don't know if I would have ever got this for myself. But like I said, I'm so glad that I watched George Carlin. I'm so glad that I have been given that spark to understand for myself. That I could see the spell, that I could see behind the smoke screen, that I could see behind the walls and the masks and facades and the agenda that's being pushed, that I could see behind it. I am so glad that that happened. It might not seem like I'm glad. You might not hear it in my voice, but I'm glad. And even though these things happen in life, it's, how can I even say this to people? Even though I have things that happen and I have rainy days in my head and I go through things because that's just what the brain does, I am free today. I am actually free. See, I'm not in bondage anymore. I'm free. I'm free from all that stuff. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to trip and fall. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have a day where I'm not feeling it. It doesn't mean any of that. It's just you're not in bondage. It's not a stronghold anymore. And this is the discernment that needs to keep being spread. If it's not, then the world and people in the world are never going to get it. They're never going to understand it. So that is my That's my life. This is all I know. All that's left. So any support would be appreciated. Any donations would be appreciated. A like would be appreciated. Sharing would be appreciated. Anything will be appreciated because it's something. Later on.